Martin Shave Tests. It's Thursday. It's the 14th of August. I thought I'd do a little experimental honing. I've got this Ardennes cuticle, which is a very nice stone, as we all know, but the cotties can be used in various different ways. And I thought, try this razor, which I believe is almost mint. It has no maker stamped on it, so a little bit in question here. Came in a nice box. It says finest silver steel, extra hollow ground, made in Germany, but nothing on it at all. Very strange. However, as I say, it came in a very nice little box. I think, judging by the nail test, yeah, it ain't very good. I had a quick look, a little peek with my loupe, and it needs, I think, a reset, new edge. Let's do it all on one stone. So we'll do a one stone hone on a cotty. Let's see how it works. If it works well, I'll give it a shave. So, first of all, work up a little bit of slurry. I have done a few one stone honings. They've always been successful, but the feel is probably the trick. You're not always certain how they feel. Anyway, this one, I'm going to take it out of its box. No need to get the box wet. All this can be done freehand. So, let's work up a slurry. I suppose you could call this a dial-a-cot, I don't know. But a coarse slurry to start with. And that seems about fairly creamy. So there's your creamy slurry. So say this little fellow is about a 6/8 unknown maker, German. I think if what we'll do is we'll try and set the bevel. Already, which is pleasing, I'm getting a nice grey. Yeah, that's nice. That's cutting. Yeah, that should work. And of course, we'll take it through its usual steps. I did note under my loupe, there's a couple of very, very small nicks. Not enough to warrant taking it down to a 1K. So I think we're just going as things are, as an experiment. You can see though the slurry is now a reasonable grey, which means of course we're removing quite a bit of metal. I shall look under the loupe in a minute. So let's just find first of all how much metal we've removed. That's looking quite good. Nail test. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Grippy. I'm going to call that done. This is how quick you can hone a razor. So I'll add a little bit of water, thinning down the slurry. I think this should be called a very weak slurry. But this was totally incapable of a hanging hair test. It was totally incapable of gripping the nail. So I think you'd agree we're resurrecting here, hopefully a worthwhile little razor. I'm not going to bother too much with looking too far under the loupe. I'd rather, in fact, bevel set, which is what we've already done. I'm now going to just quickly check on my thumb. One more time. Make sure it grabs all the way along. Yes. Oh yes. Yeah, that's grabbing. In which case, in theory, this is theory now, we should be able to go from a heavy to a light to no slurry at all. I'm only using water because it's what's available. I might add a tiny bit of soap But at the moment, it's not grabbing at the moment, which is not a good sign. I like it when you're doing thus and it grips, but sometimes it can take a little while. So this is purely an experiment on an unknown razor, but it is in fairly good condition. It didn't have a damaged edge, well, very little damage, so I'm assuming we can get away with murder. On the clock it should be only 5 minutes, so you should be able to reset, bevel set and get a reasonable edge in just a few minutes on a coticle. I'm now going to do it under running water. Ah, it's beginning to grip. This is a good sign. So I'm not going to waste too much time, chaps. What I shall do is give this a very, very, very good stropping. Probably I might even strop on a little bit of the green chrome dioxide on a strop, but at the moment this is passing all my expectations. It's gripping very nicely. I'm going to call that it. Yeah, so there we go. That is a refreshed, if not completely bevel set razor in 6 minutes 45 seconds. So don't believe that you have to do hours and hours and hours of work. You can with a nice little coticle. Yeah, that's bevel set. Right, chaps, now I'm going to go away, leave you in peace, and I'm going to try and shave with it later. So, thanks for watching. Hope you found this interesting. Martin's Shave Tests.